So we're gonna bring in Fall Brawl's ride from last year, 2015 I think it was. We're gonna bring it to the shop and we're gonna start disassembling it, and we're gonna see where this car went wrong. I think it jumped a tooth on the timing belt. I'll figure that out if it did it or not, but first things first, we gotta get it into the shop so we can start the teardown on it. Fuck. A lot of work involved with this crappy car. Oh well, that's all in the life of a derby guy. Okay, so we got it into the shop here, and I actually forgot how rotted this car was. So what I got out of this car and how rotted it was is it's actually pretty spectacular. Like when you look inside of here, there's like no floors, the whole body's creased right there. The whole seat compartment went through the floor. You look underneath it, and like there is no sheet metal left. Like there's no floors behind the seats. You can actually see the floor busted off right over there. I'm actually pretty amazed what I got out of this car. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna get out a sawzall basically and start cutting away the front end of this car. I'm gonna try to cut away everything that I don't need to get the motor out, but I want to leave the motor in there right now to see if I can get it running, check for timing, all that fun stuff. So probably gonna take a sawzall, come in here, and come in right here, just cut right through the fenders all the way down to the frame and just cut off all the sheet metal. To remove the motor, I'm thinking about just dropping the whole front subframe right out of this car and then easily removing the motor and transmission, and that way I don't have to fish it out with the engine crane, but we'll see what it gets there. So let's get started on this. So about 15 minutes, 20 minutes with the Sawzall, and now we can easily work on this motor. Some things that I'm going to change is I'm going to get rid of the power steering pump. I'm probably just going to get rid of the power steering pump bracket altogether and try to come up with something different for the alternator. I'm going to have to get off this pulley here and try to figure out all the timing, make sure all the marks are in the same spot, which they kind of look like these two are. This one here and this one here look like they're in the right spot, but the crank down here might be at the wrong spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to set these up to vertical, and then check for top dead center. If we're not at top dead center, then something's gone wrong. Yeah, so the whole front end came off pretty good. I tried to use the torch, but it ran out of oxygen. So I just did the whole thing with mini grinders and sawzalls. But the reason why we did this is now the car is extremely easy to work on. I don't have to bend over a beat up rad support that's pushed into the motor. Just for ease of use, and saves us time and energy to just take it off and work around it. But yeah, so first thing we're going to do is try to get this motor going again. We're going to throw a battery into it and all that fun stuff and see if we can get it to go and see if it's still having the same problems as it did last year. Which, if you watch the video, near the end of my run in, I think it was mini heat number 6 or 7 at Fall Brawl, it was running great. It had power. I was making good hits, and then all of a sudden everything went to crap. The motor started shaking very bad. It was puffing out a lot of black smoke. I don't know if something went wrong with the carburetor where it was giving it too much fuel, or if it jumped a tooth on the timing belt, because the timing belt is quite loose. So if it jumped a tooth, then that could explain the whole problem, and that's what I think it did. But this is a non-interference motor, so if it did jump a tooth, I can easily just replace the belt, replace the tensioner, put it one tooth back, and it will be fine to keep going. But let's just see how this is going here.